and welcome to Cycles of Life podcast. My name is Jana and I'm your host, but also I'm a life coach, I'm a certified meditation teacher and a people professional. I'm just a curious person. I like to explore things, I learn about things. So today it's another solo episode, quite a short one, but I think it's short but punchy. So today I'm talking about laziness, or even, are we all lazy? Or are we all just really tired? So what we're going to talk about today is, what is laziness? How do we perceive laziness? How do we understand it? What often hides behind it? Because there's loads of different things that when we start unpinning, we realise that actually it's not laziness. It could be procrastination, it could be loads of fear, whatever. There's loads of different things that could be hiding there. And then what can we do about it? Is there anything that we can do about it to actually move forward, potentially change our life and be able to shift? So let's begin. And often clients come with a lot of different questions to me. They ask, how can I stop being so lazy? How can I make myself to start writing or start a business or start a blog? I just spend my evenings watching TV and scroll through social media. I'm so lazy. Or how can I make myself exercise or read more books? And the short answer is, well, you can't. You just can't. I mean, you can force yourself for a wee while, but eventually it will break. And sadly, there isn't a magic pill that we can just swallow and be always productive. I mean, as much as we would love that, of course. So let's explore then, what is lazy? And why is it causing us so many issues? Well, I see laziness is actually, it's just a label, often a very negative label that we attach to ourselves. And actually laziness is an incredibly subjective thing if you think about it, because what is lazy for one is a very normal way of being for other people. So actually it is very subjective. How can we tell what is the scale of being lazy? What classifies as lazy? And for me as well, I think it's often attached to our self-worth. It's that thinking that if I'm busy, I'm being worthy. I'm a good human. I'm a worthy human. And again, this quite often comes from capitalism as a structure where we humans are only worth how much we can produce, like a factory worker. So actually, if we can work 5 days a week, 9 till 5, then we're good. If we can't do that, then we're bad. And again, it's very dangerous to label ourselves like that. What if people have disabilities? Illnesses? What if someone younger, someone is older? How can we judge ourselves by if we can do 9 till 5 times a week? If you start unpinning that, I actually realise how useless that is and how damaging it also is. And for me, all of this comes back to the concept of actually being enough just as we are. And you know, it's something that I'm very passionate about. I do have 2 different episodes on this topic, 2 fantastic interviews. One, of course, with Jessica Rose Williams, which is the previous interview. And I also spoke to amazing Sarah Wheeler about it last year. So again, I will link these 2 episodes below so you can have, have a look and also have a listen. Because I think that's where it all comes down to. Are we enough? And it's really hard for us to accept that we are enough just as we are, because the whole society is built around us believing that we're not good enough, that we always need to buy something, we need to read something, we need to pay money basically to someone to be better. So now let's talk about what is actually laziness, what often hides behind it. So what we just slap this big label as being lazy on, but actually if you start unpinning, there's a lot of stuff that is actually hiding. Often it's procrastination. And actually, you might be just too scared to something new. You might be too scared to start that new project that you really want. It might be scary for you to put yourself out there. It's that fear of being vulnerable again. Feeling exposed. Sometimes the task is just too big and it feels really scary. For example, you can be thinking, oh my God, I need to declutter my entire wardrobe, but I'm being so lazy, I'm just not doing it. But actually, if you have a lot of clothes, if you haven't done it for a while, it's a giant task. It will take a lot from you, and actually it's really helpful to break it down to small steps. And often that leads to procrastination because we just don't know where to begin. It just feels too scary, too overwhelming. Sometimes we're also trying to force ourselves to do something. Maybe something that we really don't like doing. For example, exercise. Yeah, maybe you feel like you need to be running 3 times a week, but actually you might just hate exercising, it might just hurt you too much. So actually, is there a different way that you can move your body? Or maybe you're forcing yourself to do something because everyone else is doing that and you feel like you should jump on this too. Maybe it's starting a blog. You can see that everyone has a blog and you feel like, oh my God, I should have a blog. Or even starting a podcast or opening Etsy store, whatever that is. So actually, you just don't want to do that. You have no intention. You don't need it. But you feel like you should. So those external expectations, and often that can lead to procrastination because actually deeply down you don't really want to do this stuff. Sometimes it's that we can't concentrate on anything, so we just keep abandoning tasks or starting something new. Again, so all of this could be hiding behind procrastination, which we often just call being lazy. And all of these things are a way of protecting yourself. Again, it's a learned behaviour that you have developed over the years to deal with uncertainty of life. It's something that has kept you safe for a long time, or even a behaviour that you have brought from your family, something that you've learned from your parents as a way of survival, the way of living your life. And sometimes we're just tired. So when we call ourselves lazy, we're just tired. Let's be honest, our society really struggles with the concept of people resting. You're almost seen as a frowned upon, a bit of a waste of time really. But just take note from the nature around you. I know I make this metaphor quite often, but I just think it's very powerful. Everything rests. Cats sleep a lot. Trees basically do nothing during winter months. Vegetables don't grow. We also need rest, just like nature. We need to take it easy sometimes. We need to do nothing. And actually, often what we think is rest, it's just a change of activity. I'm definitely guilty of that. So for me, I think, I'll just do something different. I don't know, I'll do the dishes. Or I'll just scroll social media for a bit. But it's not really truly rest sometimes. Again, going back to scrolling social media as an example, it's actually really stimulating for our brains. It's a lot of information that we're consuming in a very short period of time. So we think that we're resting, but actually we just continue to throw information at ourselves. And this is something that I talk about in my brand new workbook. So if you'd like to check it out, you get it completely for free. It's over 20 pages of free content, some exercises, kind of some more personal thoughts. It's called Spring, and you can get it from my website, but I will link it below as well. So yeah, I talk about rest there a lot as well. And actually that's the first step when it comes to setting goals or rethinking our life, if you like. Always starts with rest. We need to come from that good place. And another thing that's very powerful here is just be kind to yourself. What actually I often say to clients, to coaching clients, is if you were your best friend that came to you with this problem that you have, what would you say to yourself? What would you say to your best friend if they had the same problem that you have? And why are you not talking to yourself the same way? Why do we often treat ourselves like our worst enemy, but actually we are our best friend instead? So I'm really hoping this just made you think of laziness just a bit differently. This is my encouragement to just dig a bit deeper than just a simple label of, I'm just being lazy. What actually hides behind it? Is there fear? Is the task simply too big? Is the task even something that you want to be doing or see as valuable? Maybe you've tried this before and failed, and now you really don't want to repeat that mistake. Maybe you're just really tired. Maybe you just need a break. Maybe you've been working all day. And actually, you don't want to do anything with your evening. You just want to sit, watch TV, and chill. Or maybe you're scared that if you stop doing things, everything will collapse. And if that's how you feel, then what is this based on? Where did you get this thought from? So I hope that this helps and hopefully brings a new perspective on things for you. And if you are interested in working together, you can first of all check out my website, All information is there. But also I do offer free, completely free, no obligation 50-minute calls. So we can just jump on Zoom and we'll talk about what you would like to get out of coaching, and I will explain to you in ways that I can help you and how we can work together. So if that's something you're interested, please get in touch. You can either book it through my website or you can just DM me on Instagram as well. But thank you so much for listening. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you find this useful, I will greatly appreciate if you share it with a friend. That is the best way that my podcast gets new listeners. So I would greatly appreciate if you do that. But also make sure that you subscribe and follow so you don't miss any future episodes. I do have quite a few exciting interviews coming out in the next few weeks. Bye. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll speak again very soon.